everyone, Katie Murray. How's everyone doing today? Today I want to talk about when we hit hurdles, which feel like roadblocks that just completely stop us dead in our tracks from achieving certain goals that we need to achieve, or it could be just things that stop us dead in our tracks in our life. It might not even just be from attaining our goals, it could be just doing certain tasks every single day. So, how do we stop that from happening? What do we do? Do we lay on the couch and just give up, or do we keep going? And this is something that happens to everybody. And, we're human. And I'm sure that there are going to be times where we just feel as if this is it. That's it. I'm done. So I'm here to tell you, don't let that happen to you. We have to keep going. And I actually do have a story. It's about my uncle who's no longer here. I have two different uncles that I talk about, one that is here and one that is no longer here. So I just want to because if my one uncle's watching, sorry, it's not you, it's my other uncle. So, but anyway, this one uncle in particular, he actually had been through quite a lot in his life that made him the man that he is, or was. I talk about him so much, it's as if he's still here. But anyway, he was alive during the Depression, and he actually lived to tell me all about how he had polio as a young boy. And when he had polio, he was in the hospital for well over 2 years. And there were several times that both my father and my other uncle and my grandmother had thought that he wasn't going to survive. And he did. But it had left him with a hand that was it was like a claw. And, he had several surgeries on his arm and his hand to make it so it was, normal looking. But it was never the same. And he never let that define him. And he never let it stop him from just being that normal guy. And you never would have known. It was just, I remember being a kid even and looking, because, when you're a kid, you don't know any better. And I remember my father pulling me aside one time and telling me, don't stare. And I said, yeah, but you told me that he had polio and his hand was like, it was like a claw and it was deformed. And that's why I was looking. I wasn't looking because his hand was deformed. I wanted to see if it was deformed, if that makes sense. And my father then explained to me, well, no, he had surgeries to make it so it wasn't deformed. But I wanted, to actually, I wanted to see, I wanted to see, well, what did polio do to him, So that's how the discussion got going with my uncle. And I had asked him about it, what did it feel like? And how was it as you were growing up with this? And I learned so much from him because he had told me, I don't know. I never let it stop me. I just kept going. I said, even in the hospital, no, because that was brutal. But as soon as I got out, I just kept going. But when he became a man, like I said, his hand was normal. And to this day, when he talked, I still talk like he's here. But to this day, when I think about those conversations, it really inspired me because this guy never let anything stop him. He just kept going. He lived through the Depression, and well, my father did too. But people nowadays, they think, wow, I have it bad. You have it bad. You know what I mean? And my grandparents, they were the kind of people that, my uncles, my dad, they never wanted or needed for anything. Did they have struggles? Did they have a hard time? Yes. But at the same time, they sat down and they had their breakfast and their lunch and their dinner during the Depression, but, it was a peanut butter sandwich, not a peanut butter and jelly, or it was a jelly sandwich, you know what I mean? But they lived through a time where they did know what a struggle was, and they did know what it was like to live through a period where life was hard. And it taught them later on in life, though, to appreciate things. So here I am one day, and I had, a surgery, and it had laid me up. I'm going to try really hard to not well up. And my uncle, the one that's not here anymore, he was in a hospital, and we all expected him to be okay. It was something that he should have come out and been all right, and he had been there for a couple of weeks, and we were tight. And we used to write back and forth and talk on the phone. And he lived probably, like 8 hours away from me. And my dad had called me and said, geez, it's strange because he's not coming out. It's been a couple of weeks and he's not feeling well. And I was, like I said, laid up. I had had a surgery and it had made it so I couldn't write. I'm right-handed. And I hadn't written to him in a couple of weeks. And I really should have sent him like a get well card, you know what I mean? And the phone rang and it was my uncle. He had called me because I had had this surgery. And I had said to him, geez, I'm sorry that I didn't send you a get well card and that I haven't corresponded with you, because he was there, like I said, for a couple of weeks, and people were sending get well cards. And he had said to me, something, kid, because he used to call me kid, and not, it wasn't a mean way, it was a loving way, a loving term. A lot of my relatives, they'll call me kid, because like I said, I'm the youngest of 6. He said, something, I'm going to give you some advice. He said, remember something. You got another wing. Use it. You don't ever let something in your life prevent you from getting the job done. And to this day, it like bugs me, because he's right. And too many people let things stop them from getting the job done. And I'd like to say that the story ended well, and that I took his advice, and then I picked up that pen, and then I sent him a get well card, or that I wrote him a letter. But he passed away a couple days later, and it stung my heart. I can still remember I was like walking up from my mailbox and the phone rang. I always used to walk with the cordless phone if someone was sick and things like that, and it was my mom who told me that he passed. So I didn't get a chance. I would have. But I will tell you that his lesson stayed with me, and that I did learn to write with my left hand. I know how to write with my left hand, and I eat with my left hand, and I do a lot of tasks with my left hand. And I'll be darned if anything ever stops me from getting the job done. And I'm here to tell you guys, you don't ever let anything ever stop you. If you break your leg, you got the other leg. If you break an arm, you got another arm. Because in life, there's going to be a person that's going to give you some kind of advice. And you're going to sit there and think, I don't need to hear this. And you're going to get mad. And instead of having that attitude, stop and think about it. Is it coming from a good place? Are they trying to help you? So you can either, surround yourself with yes men and people that are just going to coddle you and baby you, or you can sit there and surround yourself by people that have maybe some wisdom and are trying to help you and trying to prevent you from being that person that just wants to curl up on a couch and do nothing. Now, my uncle, he's been gone for a while, and I think of him all the time, and I look up and I go, I'm doing it. I will never curl up. I will never, that guy, I could sit here and tell you story after story after story. He was the coolest too, but I want to make him proud, and I want him to look down and go, kid, you doing it. You know what I mean? And my right hand, it's fine, but I can do it with my left, And I'm telling you what, if I broke both my legs, I would crawl to get where I needed to go. And if I get knocked down, I'll pull myself back up. So my point to you is, don't let these hurdles become brick walls. And if it's a brick wall, you knock it down, And if you ever feel like you're just tired and you need help, reach out and I'll help you. And if you have that person that's honestly trying to help you and give you advice, then just bite your cheek and really try to absorb what they're saying to you. Because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, they mean well. And sometimes these people, they really know what they're saying. I could still hear, I could see him saying to me, you got another wing. Because when him and I used to hang out, when he used to talk to me about when he had polio and all the surgeries he went through. He used to always talk about that arm as a wing because when he was a kid and he had the polio, I mean, he was like so handicapped, you know, and it was very deformed. And then surgery after surgery after surgery after, I mean, he had so many. It slowly became, you know, where he was mobile and it looked normal. And that's why, like I said, when I was at that age, I couldn't tell. I'm like, what do you mean? It doesn't look like a claw. It doesn't look weird. And that's why I was staring. I wasn't staring because, oh, look at it. You know, I mean, I saw so much in my life growing up that nothing phases me. You know, I just see beautiful. I don't see people, you know, with things, you know, but don't let anything stop you. That's my advice. And keep going. You can do it, you know, and if you have ever gotten stopped, don't be ashamed. We've all been there. I was there. I mean, I was like, wow, I'm done. I can't do anything with my hand. I'm done, you know, and now God help anybody that tries to like treat me different. You know what I mean? It's like, I can do it, you know? So, all right. I know. I like, here I am like, ooh, but the horns are back, guys. Don't think I'm weak. All right. So, did I scare you? All right. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well, and I'll see you next Wednesday. And as always, spread what? Lots of tiny seeds of what? Joy and happiness all around. Bye-bye.